Hi, I'm Ray Jones and I'm Professor of Health Informatics in the School of Nursing and Midwifery. Welcome to this one-day workshop. As you'll realise, some of you are in room 115, some of you are in room 117. So in some cases I'm standing next to the video, in some cases I'm in the room next door. My role just now is to try and orientate you really to the aims of the day, to see what happens next. So what are the aims of this day? The aims really are that we all improve our communication skills and that we understand some of the ways in which our own discipline can work with other disciplines. So we all tend to retreat, for example, into abbreviations, into the old TLAs, three-letter acronyms, that is. But we want to try and avoid the use of acronyms. We want to try and make sure that other people from other disciplines can understand what it is we're talking about. And of course there are many people from many different disciplines here today. We've got people from nursing, medicine, the allied health professions, so there's a term for those people who are in robotics and so on. Allied health professions means things like occupational therapy, dietetics, podiatry and so on. And we've got people from design, from robotics, and from the digital arts. So we've got people from a range of different disciplines, and we have to make sure that those people from other disciplines can understand what we're talking about. And getting ideas from people from other disciplines is a great way of solving problems and thinking of new and innovative ideas. So what are we trying to do today? We're trying to find some problems within the health and social care services and then try and find some solutions to them. So the problems have to be reasonably small, reasonably focused, and we're trying to find the possible solutions from the skill sets of the other people who are there. So we're not really trying to reorganise the whole health service. We're not in detail trying to plan research projects, although of course some research projects may come along afterwards once you've got some idea. But you saw the examples from previous workshops. So we had IP, which is a lovely name, which was a smart catheter where you use the Internet of Things ideas to see if someone has stopped passing urine. You saw the idea of the Bluetooth telephone headset, because nurses spend a lot of their time wandering around the wards and wasting time trying to find people. So if they could just communicate. You saw the idea of the plaster cast, which would change colour if there was an infection underneath the plaster. So that's the sort of thing. So within your groups you have got people from NHS trusts. There's a word. An NHS trust means a local hospital or local primary care services, that is primary care services. You've got some people there from the local trusts, from Derriford, from South Devon, and maybe from elsewhere, and they will perhaps have problems that they will bring to you, and they're scattered throughout the three groups. You've also got people in there from the other disciplines. So what do your groups do when they get there? Well, you've got co-chairs. You've got two people who will both organise this, and what you're going to try and do is identify some problems, identify some solutions, and you've got the day to do that. But before we come back together again, you've got to produce a video summarising the problem and the solution, and load that video up onto YouTube. You have lunch and breaks whenever you want. I'm afraid I haven't managed to make any sandwiches. As you can see, it's all rather done on a shoestring, but just break whenever you want. Those of you who are not from the university will be shown where you can eat and drink by those of you who are from the university. So within groups you might want to think about the roles. You've got quite large groups. You've got about 18 to 20 people if everyone turns up. So you might want to start off together. You might then split up into small groups depending on how you want to organise it. You might think of somebody taking notes. You might find that somebody has a responsibility particularly for making the video, so maybe they're going around taking little video snaps of some of the conversation, or getting talking heads to the video, like I'm doing now, talking to my iPad. And make sure that you know who's there, because on the video you'll want to make a list of who's there. Because one of the side issues, in a way, that we want you to think about throughout the day and maybe afterwards is to think about intellectual property. Some of you won't know what this means. Intellectual property is really the ideas and the work that's gone into developing something. Now it's actually quite difficult to protect an idea, but you can protect other aspects of your work. So you can protect written work with copyright, you can protect designs with design rights, and you'll see that you've hopefully picked up a handout from Emily Ashurst and David Mosley about intellectual property. And David, with help from Emily, will be talking to you again while the Dragons are considering your proposals later on this afternoon. So remember that you have to produce a YouTube video, and on that we might document the video with the list of the people who were in that particular group. So make a note of that. So finally, just really thanks to the people who are coming up next. So thanks to Dominic Bramley from IBM, who's come here particularly today to talk about the Internet of Things. Thanks to Mike Woods from Design, who will tell you about the design. To Guido Bugman from Robotics, and to Simon Locke from Design. And of course, for those of you who understand the reference, thanks to Bob Dylan.